Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. My name is Joshua, and I'm a full-time student and aspiring filmmaker photographer. I have a 4-year degree in physiology and pharmacology, and I'm currently studying the field of mechanical engineering technology. And I'm joined here today with my co-host.
I'm Josiah. I'm a videographer here at MJ & Co. in Studio D in Saskatoon, and I also do my own freelance work.
First podcast, you know?
Sweet.
So, I think that was the hardest part, getting past the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to keep this in, but that took how long? Like
32 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah. Wait, that's how long we've been recording for?
Yeah.
It's only been 32 minutes?
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Does it feel longer?
It does feel longer. Like, I felt like I've been sitting here for a while. Man, fuck this, man. I'm not having fun. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just like, I feel like since this is such a new experience, I'm like taking in so much information and like just like trying to figure out a way to navigate, you know, every new situation.
Mm-hmm. You could probably just explain
what this
to our audience, like what we hope to do with this podcast.
Yeah. What do you hope to do with this podcast?
Honestly, I just want to be creative and get my thoughts out there and get different perspectives, like even from the audience. And like, I think it's just neat to see and hear from different people.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I like about podcasts in general, is like listening to them to get different insight, and also just for like entertainment. It depends on the podcast, really.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
What about you?
When you initially proposed this idea to me, like for me, I saw it as an opportunity to just hang out, you know, like hang out with people that I care about and like people I'd want to get to know. Like you said, you know, getting to hear other people's perspectives, like that's something I really like to do. Like I enjoy listening to people. I enjoy hearing their side of the story or hearing their perspective on life. I just think, you know, the more people you listen to, the more well-rounded you become as an individual. So I think a podcast is the perfect platform to, you know, I guess experience that, you know, that sort of growth.
Yeah, totally.
And it's a good time. Like you and I have just been sitting here like laughing like for the past 30 minutes.
Honestly, it's just a good time.
It's just a good time. Like whether or not this blows up or we like make anything of it, I have no regrets really.
Yeah.
Like just being here is.
I don't have any expectations for this.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just something that I thought would be fun.
Right. It's a good, like, I was just thinking about this on the way when I was leaving the school, when I was like, man, it is such a cool feeling to combine creative hobbies together. Yeah. Like for me, I just like 3D modeled a hand grip for my camera. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm combining my passion for like photo and video with, you know, what I'm learning at school, you know, 3D printing and 3D modeling. I think it's really cool. And then here we are, you know, with a podcast where we're combining our skills in videography, you know, lighting, and now we're incorporating a more technical side of audio. Yeah. You know, and then we're all like combining it all together, and then we're going to edit it later and just, you know, make some good content. Like, it's just really cool. Yeah, combining hobbies together. It's very fulfilling. It's like nothing else. Yeah. Everyone should be a creative.
I think everyone is a creative in their own way.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the word creative kind of has like a connotation to it, where you have to be doing something like artsy. Yeah. When you can literally be doing anything. Yeah. You could be doing, even like mechanics. They're creative too, because like people build stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what you're in.
Oh yeah, for real. Like, I guess my schooling has really opened my eyes to the, you know, like in mechanical engineering technology, your job is basically a problem solver. You're like looking for how to make things more efficient or like how to make things better. That's your job. And that takes a creative mind. Like you have to identify the problem, and then you have to see like, how can this be done better? So yeah, in order to be a creative, you don't have to be somebody who paints or like just takes pictures or videography. That is just like one field. But creativity is everywhere. It's in everything that people do. Like you can be a cook and be creative, an engineer, singer, songwriter. Yeah, even in like sports too. You watch like snowboarding, especially snowboarding and skateboarding, those kinds of sports.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own kind of style, like of how they skate. Like whether it's like rails or they want to skate transition, street, park, and like tricks are literally just things people make up. There's no like textbook set of tricks. I mean, yeah, over the years, like certain tricks become almost like laws of skate, but really like those took creativity to make. Like people made those up.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of going on a tangent, but like my main point is that you don't have to be in a certain niche to be a creative.
Right.
You can be a creative and do anything you want, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the stigma, yo.
Well, why don't we talk a little bit about our creative careers and kind of how we got to where we are right now.
Okay.
And you mentioned that you're in mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
So you want to kind of give us a background of like how you got there?
Well, I guess I'll start in high school. So I went to high school in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. You know, can't spell paradise without PA. Anyways, yeah, I went to Carleton Comprehensive High School. Go Crusaders, let's go. That's so cringe. But anyways,
canceled.
Yeah. Anyways, all throughout high school, like I was good at math. I liked all the sciences. Like I think I graduated with like a 94 overall for like all 4 years.
Crazy.
English I wasn't too fond of, but I like still did decent in it. So my mindset in high school was like, okay, I got to do something in the science, like math field. And I took a year off. I like traveled to Guatemala, which I'll save that for another time. But anyways, I took a year off and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. All of my friends went to university and they're all pursuing like medical degrees. They all want to be like doctors or dentists or pharmacists. Yeah. And, you know, what do you do as a 17-year-old? You're and you have to like make these $100,000 life decisions, you know?
Right.
Like I had to get student loans and I'm like, okay, what do I want to do with this money? You know? So as a 17-year-old, with my like genius brain, I'm like, I just want to do whatever my friends are doing. So I went into I went into arts and science at the University of Saskatchewan. And that's what my friends were doing because that's the degree you take that's the course you take to get a Phys Pharm degree to get into a professional college.
Right.
So my idea in the first year was like, okay, I got to do these classes and then I can get my Phys Pharm degree and then I can go into like medicine or dentistry.
Yeah.
And then in my second year, I was like, I want to do dentistry because my sisters are both dental hygienists. It would be cool if I can work with them. So I did that for 4 years, and on the day of application, like I did my DAT, which is the dental aptitude test. It's kind of like a standardized exam that every student or every undergrad student has to take to apply to the College of Dentistry.
Right.
And also I had to do scratch that part. Had to do the dental aptitude test. And then I was ready to submit my application to the College of Dentistry. And for some reason, I sat in the university library for like an hour, like contemplating this decision. Like I filled out my application and everything. I was like, all I had to do was click submit and pay like the $90 for the application. Yeah. But everything about that decision felt so wrong. Like I was like, am I really going to commit potentially the next 4 or 5 years of my life to this? Is this like what I actually want to do? Or is this just like a story I've been telling myself for the past 4 years because I was in denial of like being unsure, right? You know, being that like 17-year-old who just wanted to be with his friends, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna talk to like my family members. So I called my auntie, called my mom, my dad. And yeah, I kind of just decided right there and then that I wasn't gonna go through with it. So,
wow.
yeah, I just like...
That's a big decision right there.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish my degree and I'm going to do something else. But like that right there is like so scary because now I'm in the mindset of like, I have no idea where I'm going, you know,
Right.
as I think I was...
This was after 4 years of arts and science?
Yeah, this was after 4 years of university. And I was like, I'm going to graduate with a degree that like I can't really do anything with other than go into research or... Yeah, that's basically it. Like Phys Pharm degree it's pretty niche. It's almost like... It's like a stepping stone. It can't really get you a job out of university other than research. It's more so used to prepare you for a professional college. Like
Right.
medicine, dentistry.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm 22 years old and I make this big decision. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'm not going to go into dentistry. Like this isn't my dream anymore. This is not my goal. And at first it was really scary, but I remember telling people about it and I felt so happy. It was almost like a weight has been lifted. I was just like, wow, I'm not lying to myself anymore. Like this is like the realest or like the most confident I've felt, or most confidence I've felt in a long time, because I'm no longer living the story that I want to be like a dentist or I want to go into dentistry.
Yeah.
You know, that was just something I told people.
Right.
You know, because you kind of had to like, I feel like as a young person, I felt like I had to tell people that I have goals in life, or else people just look at you like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, yeah, like everybody has to be doing something.
Yeah.
But I felt like pressured because of all my friends. You know, they're all going into medicine. They're all like finishing their degree in business.
Right. Peer pressure.
Yeah, it's like...
In a different way.
Yeah, that's that pressure of being around a bunch of high achievers.
I think it's the social pressure. For
sure. Like, what it is social consistency. Like people, there's like an overwhelming urge to be consistent around people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to tell you I'm going to be, or if like, say I'm an alcoholic and I'm like serious about quitting alcohol, I'm going to tell everybody that I'm quitting alcohol. But if I'm not serious, I'll just like keep it to myself. I'll be like, oh, you know, I'm going to stop drinking. You know what I mean? Does it kind of like make sense? Maybe scratch that part.
Well, like,
I just mean like...
Because some people will still say it.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You know? But I get it. Like, they want to keep it consistent because they don't want to...
Yeah.
Lie or...
Like, if I told you, like, hey, Si, I'm going to stop smoking or whatever, and then you see me smoking the next day, you'd probably call me out for it.
Yeah.
But, like, because I have that... like that urge to be consistent with what I told you,
right?
You know, then I would, you know, have the willpower to like deny the urge to smoke.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like I do that a lot.
I feel like that's not normal.
What?
Well, I guess it depends, but I think a lot of people will say that as a front.
Oh, just to like pretend?
Just because you're right, people do want to stay consistent, or they don't want to. They don't want to be a liar. Nobody ever does.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I feel like, don't really change.
Fair
they
enough.
just put up a front. They say things, right?
Yeah. They're like,
It's like, yeah, I'd quit smoking, but then whenever they have a chance and they're alone, they'll smoke or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know.
I
It
guess,
depends on the person, but...
Yeah.
I feel like people say stuff all the time just to say that they did.
Like it's almost like they're signaling.
Yeah, it's like someone saying that, like, yeah, I eat healthy, but clearly they don't.
Yeah.
But they keep saying they eat healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it doesn't add up.
Right.
But they want to stay consistent. They don't want to seem like they're lying.
Right.
Or they've gone too far and they can't go back.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess, yeah, okay. I guess I want to say from like my perspective, I guess that's how I treat situations.
Yeah.
Where if I'm like serious about something, I'll like tell people about it, because for me that puts, I guess I'm pretty extroverted, so like other people's opinions about me like really affect
matter.
me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
To an extent. Sometimes I like idgaff, man. Idgaff. Idgaff.
Can you explain that to our audience?
I don't give a flip about what people think about me sometimes, I guess.
Okay, wait. For some reason, I remember that you applied for the dentistry in your third year anyway, right? Or am I wrong?
Oh, yeah.
You applied your third year and your fourth year.
Yeah. The first time.
Did you actually apply the third year?
No. What happened the third year is I did my dental aptitude test and I didn't get a good mark. So
then you just scrapped it.
Yeah, the dental aptitude test is like, that's what they use to weigh their decision on whether or not to give you an interview to like acceptance into the college. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get a good mark. So I was like, okay, next year I'm going to take a fourth year and I'm going to boost up my class averages by taking more classes. Okay. And also doing the DAT again.
Right.
And then I did it again. My average was good. And then, I would say good enough. Yeah. And then I just didn't apply.
Okay.
Because I guess after the third year, I was just like, oh, do I really have to do this all again? Like an extra year, blah, blah. Yeah. And like, I just hated the idea.
Okay, so you went from that. How did you get into videography and photography?
Yeah, okay.
Has it always been a thing for you, or was it like after?
Honestly, I don't think, like growing up, I never considered myself a creative person. Like I really liked the art, but...
I always thought you were.
Yeah.
Because I remember growing up, you were always creative in a way that you were constantly drawing or something like that.
Yeah. Like, see, but the thing is, like my drawing, I didn't consider myself creative because my drawings were copies of pictures I see. You know what I mean? Like I see a picture of like Venom or whatever, and I like wanted to draw a picture of Venom. So I like look at the picture and I'd like try to recreate it. Yeah. Right. Like it was rare where I came up with like an original good drawing. You know what I mean? All my good drawings were recreations of pictures I've seen. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, okay, I didn't really consider myself that creative, but I was good at art. Like I got good grades. But anyways, I digress. So after university, I was kind of in this limbo where I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, but I convocate. And one of the first things I did after I graduated was I went on a trip with my sisters to Calgary. And throughout the whole time, I was like, you know, I'm going to record this trip, or I'm going to document this trip, kind of like a mini vlog on my phone. Yeah. And and then, I just like after the trip, I had a bunch of footage and I opened up my laptop and I was like, I should do something with this. So I like download Adobe Premiere and I try the free trial and I was like, all right, cool. This needs some music. Like found some random copyright free music and I just slapped it in the timeline. So like I didn't have any clips on the timeline. I just had audio and like I'm just vibing to the song. Yeah. And then I start like dragging clips onto the timeline, like learning the software as I'm doing this. This is like the very first time I'm using Adobe. Mm-hmm. And like I put down like 10 seconds worth of footage and then I just press the space bar and like it starts playing. And then like immediately, once like the first drop hits on the first cut of footage, it was like I was hooked, you know? That feeling of like having a transition on a beat drop, that was like so addicting. And so like the whole video is literally just like
I did something cool.
It's synced up, like each clip is synced up to the beat of the song. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. And I probably spent like 3 hours on a minute-long video just like playing around with the clips and like trying to make it look cool. I remember I even had this like really cheesy zoom in effect. But
like where it warps or something.
Yeah, well it was like a window and then in the background is like an ice rink and then it like zooms in and then to like a clip of me on the ice rink skating around. Yeah. But it was really like choppy and shoddy. But you know, that video was like what started that's what ignited the fire. You know, I was like, man, this is really fun. I really like the whole experience of filming and then editing and then just like sharing this video I made with my friends and family. Yeah. And that's kind of what started me on my creative journey. And then after that, I was like, okay, I was experimenting more, watching like all the content I could consume on YouTube about mobile filmmaking photography. Right. And then eventually I got a job as marketing coordinator / film photographer / videographer / product management / marketing.
A lot of slashes.
This first media gig, or like first media job I ever had, was like 10 positions wrapped in one.
Right.
You know, I feel like that job, it was for a small business, and I feel like definitely more than one person was needed for my position.
Okay.
Which is actually what you were doing at first. Like, the only reason why I got that position was because of you.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I recommended you.
Yeah. Josiah recommended me to this job, and he's like, yeah, it's a good job. You know, like, it's a lot of work, but I think you can handle it. And I was like, I think so too. And funny thing is, I lasted like 4.5 months. Turns out I couldn't handle it. But that's in the past. Anyways, yeah, I gained a lot of experience from that. And I did some freelance work. I did a video for like my friend's paintball team. I did a video for my friend's family's pizza business. Yo, shout out TJ's.
Hey,
best pizza in Canada.
Next podcast, we better have a pizza right here.
Oh yeah, we should definitely get some TJ's pizza.
I'm down.
But yeah, honestly, yeah, I wish I could do more videography and photography stuff. But at the same time, I'm just like the type of person that needs a little more security. So I decided to go back to school, and I was like, what should I do? Like, I already spent 4 years in school. I just want to do something quick and something that I would be genuinely interested in.
Right.
And I've always been good at math, good at science. So I was like, I want to play to my strengths. And I think mechanical engineering technology, it's a 2-year program. You know, it would really suit me and suit the, you know, the thing I'm, sorry. I think the fact that it was a 2-year program and it was like math heavy, calculation heavy, it was so contrasting to what my 4-year degree was. Like, my 4-year degree was like, here's what to think. And then engineering is like, here's how to think. Right. I think that's what kind of attracted me too. Just like the change in learning. So yeah, now I'm doing that. I still love film or photography and videography. I definitely want to pursue something in that later on in life, but right now my focus is school.
Solely on that, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was a lot of talking.
No, it was good. It's good to know your background and kind of where you're at and how you got here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening.
And that's the podcast.
That's the podcast. No. Now we got to talk about you, Saya.
Well, honestly, I always thought that you were gonna be an engineer.
Really?
Even like growing up, just because you're always good with math, I always thought that you would ended up being an engineer. And when you said you were gonna be a dentist, I even said to my mom, I was like, I don't think he really wants to do this. I think it's the influence. I honestly thought it was like just influence from Larissa and Nika.
Yeah.
And I was like, it didn't really suit you from the way that I saw you grow up, and like,
yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. It just didn't really fit your strengths.
Yeah. And
I think this definitely does.
Yeah, that's so funny you say that, because it makes me think of a quote where it's like, sometimes the people that know you better than yourself. And it was so true. I remember telling my ex at the time, you know, I was like, I want to be a dentist. And then, or my girl, yeah, like my ex, I was like, I want to be a dentist. And once I told her that I didn't want to do that, she was like, I knew all along. She's like, every time I asked you about what you wanted to do, it never sounded genuine. And I was just like, yeah, I'm a bad liar. Like, I even knew myself. Like, I was like, every time I told people, I'm like, this just does not sit right with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, honestly, you talked about like pressure and like social pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that there's so much pressure on young adults to figure out their life at 17, 18 and know what they're going to do for the rest of their life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And like lock it in.
Yeah.
That's so tough.
Dude, like, put yourself in your 17-year-old shoes. Like, what?
I didn't know anything.
What did you know?
Nothing.
Exactly. Like,
I knew League of Legends and CSGO.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Saya and I used to game CSGO and
hard.
League of Legends. like till the break of dawn. We were like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., like no problem.
Yeah.
That was just an average night.
Go to bed for 4 hours, wake up, maybe eat a little bit, back at it.
Oh man, that
It was bad.
It was good times though. Good times.
Great times.
I don't regret those those experiences.
Yeah, I miss it.
It's fun. Yeah,
It's fun. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that's kind of the way I feel with this podcast, is just being able to do something with you.
Oh yeah,
That's like
true.
fun, creative.
True.
You know.
Yeah, I'm glad our hobbies have kind of like, it's almost like we're growing together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're still those kids. Like, yeah, we're just like growing up together still.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy that like our family was able to all kind of move to the same place. Like, it is actually such a luxury that a lot of my friends don't have. Like, and what I mean by that is like family living near them.
Right.
You know, family that they're close with. Like, I wouldn't trade our family for the world, you know?
No.
Like, oh damn, I just picked my nose on camera.
Caught in 4K.
Caught in 4K. Yeah, like our family's so cool. Like, it's so diverse, and I feel like I'm close with everyone, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like having best friends, but closer.
Yeah.
You know?
It's totally like best friends.
Yeah, yeah.
But family.
It's sweet. But yeah, I like how, going back to what I said earlier, like of us growing up together, I feel like this is just the next stage of our, you know, growing up.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. I'm like very grateful for this experience, and like, yeah,
It's
awesome.
crazy thinking about it.
Yeah.
And actually how fast it like happened.
Yeah. Isn't it just nuts that how many years? Like 2 years ago, you and I were both getting into mobile filmmaking.
That was weird.
Yeah, like at the same time.
We had no idea that
Yeah.
we were both into that.
Yeah, I was like, so Josiah, I'm starting to like make videos on my phone, and you're like, yeah, I just ordered some phone lenses.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Are you serious? And I was like, from what company? And he says like Moment, which is like a mobile filmmaking company. They're a little more than that now, but they're selling like these smartphone lenses. And I was like, no way. I watch those videos all the time. I watch all their videos. And yeah, we kind of like, it was just weird, like almost surreal.
The exact same time.
Yeah, our interests in mobile filmmaking and photography, just like, it's almost like they were synced up.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, were you ever interested in like YouTube and like films like that before? Or no?
Yeah, not really.
No.
Not really. It was just like after that Calgary experience, that's when it all started for me.
Just kick-started.
Yeah. But it was really cool. And like, now look at us 2 or 3 years later, or was it 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years. We're like sitting in this crazy office with like thousands of dollars of equipment.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Matt. This is really generous of you. We really appreciate it. Well, we won't forget about you when we blow up. Just kidding. No, yeah, it's a surreal thing. Like, this is what consistency gets you. You know, when you like consistently put in effort or interest into something over a long enough time, you'll just like get better and better. You'll upgrade, you know, like, yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying things to say things.
No, it's true though.
Yeah.
Like, looking back at it, I did just stick with it. And that's kind of what I've done with my past jobs too. It's just sticking it out, even if it's not like making progress, just like staying in the same place. But sometimes it takes time to figure stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and just not quitting, you know?
What I admire about you as a person is that like, you're the type of person that once they start something, they become like obsessed with it, and they like learn everything about, you know, whatever they're doing. Like
go all in.
Yeah, when you got into going all the way back to League of Legends and CS:GO, like you're learning lineups and the strategies, what heroes to play, what items, aim maps. Yeah, if you're into CS:GO, you know what we're talking about. If you don't know, then whatever. But and then going past that, like when you became a personal trainer, you know, like you going or doing that extra effort to go out to conventions or like seek out more
like different courses,
yeah, to like broaden your knowledge as a personal trainer.
Yeah, totally.
And then crypto investing, like you basically taught me everything I know about crypto and crypto investing. And then film or photography, videography, like it's just like you're just that person that gets like hyper focused into a certain niche, and then you just like absorb everything.
That's so true.
Yeah. You're just a little
sponge.
A little sponge.
Yeah.
Big sponge though. Big boy.
Yeah, I guess that hasn't always happened, and I think that didn't start happening until my personal trainer job. Yeah. Like that whole mindset change, that's kind of something that clicked for me, because school was never my thing. I could just never focus. Mm-hmm. Or like I just didn't care. Yeah. When it really came down to it, I just had no drive to learn about math and science and all these different things. And what's funny is I did take a new media course at Polytechnic before I got my trainer job. Yeah. And now I'm doing the exact same stuff that I would have done if I stuck through that course. Yeah. Which is funny how it works.
Yeah. I still remember like when you were living at Lala's house, taking that new media course at SciSID, and you're like showing me this animation you made.
Man, that was so shitty. It was so bad.
It was like a
stick figure.
It was like a South Park episode, but just cursed. I don't know. It was so I don't know. It was funny.
Actually, I don't really remember it, but
it was like a 2D like side-scrolling animation that you made.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I kind of remember it.
Wasn't it like Christmas themed or something? I don't know.
Yeah, because I remember Christmas trees. Because that was the easiest thing to draw. Because you just had to do lines. Yeah.
Thank God you never went into animation.
Thank God.
Just kidding. But yeah. So you said that you just didn't care about doing well in school. What, like if school wasn't your priority at the time, what was?
Honestly, I didn't really have a priority.
Like, was it sports, video games?
It was sports, but I feel like it wasn't like a big driver for me. Looking back now, I really just didn't know what to do. Like I had no direction, where I feel like growing up, going through grade school and just growing up at home, there was always these expectations that were forced on me. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily forced though. It was more like, how should I put it? It wasn't like I had to do things, but I had a certain expectation just because of like my previous grades in grade school and kind of my character of like how I held myself. Yeah. I was always viewed as like the good kid and always did what was right. Yeah. But I wasn't really interested in, like I was influenced to go into medicine because of my grandpa on my dad's side. He was a pediatrician here in Saskatoon for 60 years. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Crazy. He was kind of here when Saskatoon was just getting started. Mm-hmm. So he's like a big part of the development and like the old Saskatoon. Yeah. But yeah, that was always kind of forced or influenced in my decision for like schooling and what I wanted to do after high school. Yeah. And that was always the question as soon as grade 10 started. Right. It was like, what do you want to do? Are you going to go into medicine? Yeah. Literally everyone would ask me that. Yeah. I'd be like, oh yeah, I think about it.
By everyone, do you mean like your family or your friends as well?
Friends.
Oh yeah.
Just because everyone kind of knew that history. Mm-hmm. But it was never my strong suit to go into like maths and sciences. Mm-hmm. I never did well. Part of that probably is because I skipped grade 10. Wait, was it grade 10 or grade 9? It was grade 10. Mm. I got mercy passed. Yeah. I think I did maybe one module of one course.
Oh my goodness,
man. Math.
Dude, that's crazy.
All the other stuff for like grade 10, like English, social. Yeah. Anything else I didn't do. Yeah. But we're like a pretty small town in Three Hills. Yeah. and like my dad we kind of knew people.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's how I passed.
Really?
It was just like probably my parent, like I don't really know the whole story, but it was probably just my parents being like, we really don't want him to like fall behind.
Right.
So push him ahead.
Yeah.
And that was probably the worst thing, because now I'm in I skipped grade 10. I go into grade 11.
Yeah.
I have grade 9 like experience and knowledge.
Yeah.
And schooling, and a little bit of grade 10, but like I was just thrown into this.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't even know, because like grade 10 to grade 12, there's kind of like a ramp up period. Like you learn stuff grade 10,
Mm-hmm.
you apply even more to grade 11.
Right.
I didn't know grade 10, so I'm just like lost.
Right.
I'm just like barely passing because I'm learning grade 10 and grade 11 at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm taking, we call it -2 classes in Alberta.
Mm.
It's just like the lower course. I don't know what they call it here in Saskatchewan. I think it's different. It's like we would call like math 30-1.
Oh,
which is
so
like your regular math.
Yeah.
And then if you didn't do well in math, you go into 30-2.
Okay.
Which is like a lower level of math.
Do they teach you like different type of math? Or
They do.
They do?
It is different, yeah.
I feel like that's just called workplace math. Like we had foundations 30, pre-calc 30, and then workplace math.
So I think in grade 12, it was either you take pre-cal
Mhm.
or you take foundations.
Yeah.
Foundations was called our -2.
Oh, what? Really?
I think so.
Foundations?
I
Yeah,
think.
foundations was definitely easier.
Yeah.
But
so I did that.
yeah.
Got like
okay.
a 64.
Oh, I mean, all right.
Made it.
You made it.
But yeah.
Barely.
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 But that was kind of my high school career.
Mm.
And then from there, again, I still didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I moved to Saskatoon after, I had a gap year. I took a gap year, which I spent here in Saskatoon with my grandparents, basically just helping them move from their house to eventually a care home.
Right.
Just going through that process.
Yeah.
So that gave me a little bit of time away from home, which was nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to get out of the small town.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I remember I kind of I lived with you at your grandparents' place for a little.
Did you?
Yeah, remember when we worked at Needham?
Oh, shoot.
Dude, these were the days.
Oh, man, there's some stories there.
We call ourselves the Redo Reno crew because we
literally have to redo everything that we do.
Yeah. We'll say that for another time, though. Redo Renos.
Yeah. So, yeah, I lived with my grandparents for a year and then kind of got forced to do something because, I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I played video games all day and just watched YouTube.
Yeah.
So my parents were like, okay, well, you either have to take a course somewhere or you come back home.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really want to go back home because I enjoyed Saskatoon.
Yeah.
And then I had family in Prince Albert. I stayed with Lola. Took new media because it was computers.
Yeah.
And I played video games.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. I'm on my computer all the time. Might as well try and learn something.
Right.
So at first it was actually pretty good. I was interested in it. We did a lot of coding, and then we went into like video and photo and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was more so into the coding than I was the video.
Yeah.
Before. But then it wasn't really something that I wanted to do anyway, because I was, again, like kind of forced into it. So I didn't actually even finish the full year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So Polytechnic, the course was like from September to April.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in like December, the courses, like the part of the course that we were taking could have been done online. So I started doing it online and just checking in online.
Yeah.
And then after the Christmas break is when I stopped going to classes altogether.
Yeah.
And just like would occasionally go.
Yeah.
And then, actually, this is crazy to think about. I just stopped doing classwork.
Really?
I just straight up stopped doing it. Because I got behind, and then I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah.
And
I just didn't have the drive.
I had no
this.
drive to do it.
Yeah.
And I even got like one of the counselors to like try and help me. Bless you. Yeah, I got one of the counselors to try and help me. and she kind of set up like a routine to finish all these assignments that I needed to finish. Didn't do that. And then like eventually not showing up, I got a letter saying that I didn't meet the required hours or something like that.
Yeah.
And that I'd been like dropped out of the class.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I had no idea.
Really? I thought I told you this.
Yeah. That's insane, man. I actually had no idea that you went through that experience. Like,
so like I'm like the polar opposite of you, where I have literally no schooling.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Like that, like, yeah, Josiah and I are like the opposite. I finished all my 4 years in high school, and then I went to university, and then Josiah, like, he finished high school, but then like didn't do any post-secondary education.
No.
Yeah. But it's crazy though, because Josiah's not homeless, you know? You'd think.
I'm not homeless.
Yeah,
no.
He's not homeless. He's actually doing something that he loves to do.
I do sleep at the studio though.
Okay. Just kidding. I mean, that's okay.
I don't.
But yeah, like Josiah's like, he's a person that's really inspiring to me, because he basically took like my passion, or like the whole creative photography, videography hobby, and turned it into a career for himself. And like, that's a scary thing for somebody to do, to turn their hobby into a career. You know, there's like not consistent paychecks. You know, if doing freelance work, it's never consistent. You're always looking for new clients. It's a scary, daunting task to take that on. Mm-hmm. So that for me, I was like, I'm too scared. I got to go back to school and like get something under my belt. But Josiah, he's like, nah, I'm diving head first. I'm going to go through with it. And now he's like, you know, he's a well-known videographer, a photographer in Saskatoon, which is crazy. Like, props to Josiah. Respect to my bro.
Appreciate that.
So yeah, if you hear Josiah Meningas in Saskatoon, put some respect on that name. Okay.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't always a mindset thing that I've always had. It was most likely built after I dropped out, and then my parents found out. Mm-hmm. It was just like, I didn't, it was the same thing. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I found this job posting, personal trainer at Good Life.
Yeah.
And by that time I had been working out like a little bit. I was like a little bit into working out. Mm. Worked out at Fit for 10.
Yeah.
In Prince
Fit
Albert.
For 10 days. Yep.
It's classic. It's the Mecca.
The Mecca. Yeah.
But yeah, I applied for that job, and I don't know how I got it, but I think that's honestly where I started to become a sponge, because it was actually something that I enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And I would watch YouTube videos constantly. Like when I was not going to school, I was either playing games or I was watching YouTube on working out.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I feel like I've always been a big dreamer, but I haven't always been the person to like follow it up and actually do something about it. Mm-hmm. I always have these big dreams and like, oh yeah, I could totally do that, but I would never do it. I wouldn't have like the consistency or the discipline to do it. Yeah. And with this fitness job, that was something that I really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And it was something that I really felt like I could do well. Yeah. And learn and like actually make a career for myself. Yeah. So that's kind of where it started, that mindset of like, okay, if this is something that I really enjoy and I really want to do and make it a career, I have to try as hard as I can and continue to learn. Yeah.
So like, how did you go from personal training into the creative field of photography and videography? Like, what made you become interested in like mobile filmmaking of all things, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of it kind of goes hand in hand. Like with fitness, especially now with social media, everyone's always taking videos. Mm-hmm. So like, just the fact that I was watching fitness videos back in like college, mm-hmm. while I was taking that course, it always piqued my interest of like how I'm able to watch that, or like they're making this entertainment video that I'm watching, mm-hmm. for fun.
Yeah.
And it's about working out.
Yeah.
Who does that? Who watches workout videos for fun? Like what?
You do.
Apparently me.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other people do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it started for me, and just getting like interested in that industry. Because like I said, I was always a big dreamer. I always thought that I would be a YouTuber, or I always see things and be like, oh yeah, I could do that, or it seems interesting.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of been in the back of my head of wanting to do film, but I've never had the opportunity or like the drive to just do it. And the fitness industry kind of gave me a door to go through, or gave me a path to start it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like taking simple videos on my phone and just filming it, like filming my workouts.
Right.
It was like, looking back at it now, they're terrible, but
they weren't terrible. You were pushing a lot of weight.
I was pushing weight, but like the video was just like,
do you think
on the floor?
The average gym bro is gonna look at the video and he's like, man, that's a lot of weight, but damn, that composition sucks. The lighting in this video sucks. Nah, just kidding.
Dislike.
Yeah, dislike. No, the thing is, like, if you're a good cinematographer and you know how to compose an image, most people won't notice like the small details of like, oh, that person like chose to compose this shot this way. But like overall, they'll be like, this is a good video. I don't know exactly why it's a good video, but they just know. Yeah, it's just like,
it's like intuition.
Wow, this is like very appealing to the eye, or it's like, this is high quality. You know,
that's the skill of a videographer and cinematographer.
It's like their skills go unnoticed, but subconsciously it's like doing something to someone. Yeah.
It's very pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
It's the Fibonacci swirl, or what is it called?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what it's called, but
they literally use that for cinematography because it's pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
Right. It's the golden ratio.
I wish I could talk more about that. I know about it, but like not enough to talk about.
Yeah.
You know.
You just know of it.
Yeah. But man, that's crazy. Like hearing your story of like through school and, you know, to becoming a personal trainer and then eventually into videography, like that's crazy.
Like me going from or doing nothing to training, I feel like isn't as big of a jump as going from training to videography.
Oh, really?
What makes you say that? For myself, I just feel like the industry, to be a trainer, it doesn't have to be a good trainer, just a trainer in general, is almost easier. I don't know. There's just something, there's a different type of skill that you need to be a good videographer or to do decently well. Like you can be an average trainer and make a decent living. But like it's very hard to make a living if you're not a good videographer. Does that make sense? Yeah. And like the skill transfer, I feel like is different. Like people can tell, like there's some bad trainers out there where they'll just be like, tell people to lift weights and they have a career doing that. Yeah, that's you can't have a videographer that doesn't know how to do their settings. Right. Or like exposure or whatever. Yeah. Right. You have to be very meticulous and very accurate. That is very true. So I feel like that jump is a little bit bigger than going into personal training. But don't get me wrong, like personal training, like a good coach knows a lot and it takes a lot of like hard work and education. Yeah. No, that's so true. I think Saskatchewan is like, it is the perfect place to be a videographer. Like I feel like this is an unpopular opinion. Interesting. Because like, hear me out. I have the opposite. I think if you're just starting out and you're trying to build a career in videography and photography, Saskatchewan's a good place because I think I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but the bar is set kind of low. Because like a really good photographer / videographer, like one that really knows what they're doing and can compete at a level outside of Saskatchewan is hard to come by. Yeah. Because me, like from personal experience, like me just doing videos on my phone, I was able, and like doing YouTube videos, like I was able to land freelance gigs, you know, and whenever I had a client and they'd show me examples of what kind of work they got before, it was just atrocious. I'm sorry, but like, I was like,
oh my goodness, like you paid for this?
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of work I was looking at, and I was like, the bar is set pretty low.
Right.
If you want to like do freelance work in Saskatchewan, like go ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like go for it, because you really, it's like a blank canvas here, you know. Digital marketing and making content for social media, YouTube, or the digital world in general is just like it's just starting here. You know, that's what I feel like from my experience. Like I feel like Saskatchewan's always so far behind in terms of trends.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. But you said you disagree. You don't think Saskatchewan's a good place.
I don't fully disagree.
Yeah.
But I think I feel like just because of what we have here in Saskatchewan, and we're so limited to what we can do. Don't get me wrong, there's still lots of options that we can do, but it is limited compared to anywhere else like Vancouver or something like that. But I feel that this industry here is quite saturated.
Oh, really?
Like everyone is a photographer. Everyone that I know is like, they have their side business. Yeah. And I feel like it's harder to, well, first of all, like the industry here is being pulled down because of that, because everyone can do it. So then the price is pulled down quite a bit. It's hard to make like a good business or make good money doing it here because everyone else can do it. Right. Or somebody will hire like some shitty videographer and get a shitty video.
Okay. Yeah.
Compared to, let's say, like Vancouver, Toronto, or even Calgary. There's more opportunity, and I feel like the bar is set higher, yes, but like I feel like there's just more opportunity.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
I see what you're saying. I've definitely felt that pressure to undersell myself in certain situations. I remember I was doing a video for a client, and they're like, yeah, can you do a video for like $500? And I was like, 500? That's, the ad said 3,000. Just kidding. No, no, I was doing a video for a client, and we were in the stages of like talking about the video, and we get to pricing, and he's like, I was thinking like, yeah, $500. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing this for $500. Yeah. That's basically just covering the cost of my equipment. Right. And then he's like, well, you know, I know a guy who can do it for like $350. And I'm like thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to lose this client because somebody else can do this video for $350. Yeah. But I was like, do you want a good video? This is what I asked him. I was like, do you want a good video? I was like, he's like, of course, I want a really good video. And I like show him an example of a video that I found on YouTube, like a really good example of like what I can do. Right. And I was like, here, this is the type of video that I'm willing to deliver, but this is my price. And then he was just like, okay, yeah, I want that video, but I only have $250. And I was like, okay, well, you can go to a guy who can do the video for $250. But I bet you will get a video that's worth $250. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, even though there are other people out there who are willing to do it for cheaper, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're up to the same standard. You know what I mean? Totally. So, like, I found, in the end, like, I got the client. Like, I was able to do the video for more than what he was asking for. And it's not like I like swindled him. Yeah. I gave him a good video. He was really happy. His friends were really happy. Like everyone was satisfied. Yeah. And at the end, the cost was justified. Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I digress.
That's so interesting. I feel like majority of people and businesses, they don't understand how expensive it is to make a video.
Oh yeah.
They don't grasp it. Yeah. Like $500, that's barely worth anything. Yeah. Like cameras now, like the camera that we're using here, this is like over $4,000.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nuts.
Like, I'm not saying you have to pay for the camera in one shoot, but you pay for like, first of all, experience, the gear that they're using, like how high quality it's going to be, and also like what you're going to have to do for the shoot. Yeah. People don't take into it like the cost of pre-production, setup, takedown. Yeah. You're there, like take down and set up is probably like an hour at least, right?
Yeah.
For small productions, at least.
Like, how long did it take for us to set up this?
Took us like 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. Just figuring out the lighting, camera angles.
Yeah.
Audio.
Yeah.
Making sure we have SD cards for everything. Everything's charged.
You got to pay for storage. You got to pay for music.
Yeah. There is so much that goes into video.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. But we do it anyways.
We do it for free.
Clearly, yeah.
That's something that's also very interesting in this industry is we want to get paid, but we're also willing to do it for free just to get exposure.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
Yeah. Exposure. We'll pay you in exposure.
It's the worst thing that you could say to somebody.
Yeah. So, like, you're not going to pay me then?
Oh, yeah. I'll just pay my rent with exposure. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks.
That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough, especially when we were starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously we knew our worth. It wasn't like in the $1,000 range, but like it was probably like around $500 when we first starting out, like first videos.
Yeah.
But it's hard to charge more. I think it's hard for people in this industry, and even still for myself, to charge more than like $1,000 for a video, because nobody's willing to pay it. But also people don't, or like, it's just hard to show that experience. Other than like, because we're so young.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I feel like age is a factor as well in how people perceive you.
Yeah.
And they're like, why are you charging $2,000 for this video?
That's kind of what, like, when I was talking about Saskatchewan being kind of behind on trends and like not putting a huge focus on digital marketing, or digital marketing in general, like TikTok, Instagram, videos on YouTube, or videos on their website.
Yeah.
There's not a big push for that stuff. I know a lot of businesses, like established businesses here in Saskatchewan, they still rely on radio, like billboard ads. Yeah. I mean, definitely now, like speaking with my friend's dad, like he's transitioning away from the radio, but like a lot of old school methods of advertising are still being used here in Saskatchewan. So, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I forget my train of thought.
Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought too.
Anyways, I feel like we've been talking a lot about creative stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
But I also want to talk about something else. Steroids. Would you do them? No, just kidding.
I mean, if you want, we can talk about that.
Yeah. Okay, wait, hold on.
It was a big thing. I mean, it's always a thing in the fitness industry.
Yeah. Okay, wait. We're going to make the transition to talking about social media. Yeah. You know.
What are your views on social media?
I think, honestly, I went through a phase where I was like, I hate social media. Social media is stupid. It's just for people to feed their ego. And I still kind of feel that way. But I think it is a very effective tool to communicate ideas and share things with people. I think if you use social media for what its intended purpose is, it's a good thing. But, you know, just like anything, too much of it is bad. Also, I can feel it like subconsciously affecting me in negative ways. Like,
what do you mean? I
guess, like I'm human. I fall into the trap of comparison. You know, like I see things out there, or I don't know actually. Or here's one thing. Sometimes I get too focused on the likes. You know what I mean? I post something and I'm just like
waiting for.
I'm
the
like
likes.
Checking every 5 minutes. It's so bad. I don't know if like everybody does this, but
I feel like it's pretty common.
Yeah, like I'll post a picture and it's like a wholesome picture. I'm like, yeah, time with my family. And I'm like, oh, did so-and-so like this? Oh my gosh, like 10 people like this. And then I'm just sitting there and I become aware and I'm like, why do I care about this?
Yeah.
This serves nothing other than like feeding my ego. So in that sense, I think it's a toxic thing, but it did what I intended it to do. It shared the picture that I wanted to share with my friends and family.
Right.
You know, and I use it to like network with people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of opportunities I've had and friends I've met have been through social media, you know, posting stuff that I'm interested in, and then somebody comments like, oh, that's really cool, like let's collab, or like let's do that together.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, yeah, it's good in some aspects, but when it comes to like, you know, having a positive effect on your mental health, I don't think it's a good thing.
Right.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
I'm kind of on the same boat.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. It's such a sensitive topic. Like, it can go both ways.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever like a right answer and a wrong answer, but I think people just need to be careful.
Yeah.
Of like how they use it.
Right.
Like, I know, like, I abuse it. Like, I overuse it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I set a limit.
Oh, you did?
Like, I set a limit like on my iPhone.
Yeah.
After like, I don't know, 2 hours. It like, your limit's up, but like you can still ignore it.
Oh, yeah.
And I would ignore it every single time. So I had good intentions.
Yeah.
But I never really followed through with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just like,
man, it's an addiction.
It is an addiction.
Yeah.
And like FOMO, it's like, did I miss anything? Like,
oh, do you get FOMO?
Like a little bit. Like I scroll for a while to make
Yeah.
sure that like, if there's anything that I don't see,
Yeah.
I want to see it. It's like the same thing with TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I get stuck in that vortex.
Oh,
hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just watch a video, keep going. Something else funny. Something else.
Isn't it messed up? Like, what's the first, like, I don't know. I think it's so messed up that at the end of the day, after a long day at school, I get home, I get ready for bed. And like a little treat for me is to go on social media or like go on TikTok for like 30 minutes. I'm just like, bro, like, are you serious? Out of all the things you could be doing right now.
Are you serious, my brother?
Yeah, are you serious, bro? Like, out of all the things you could be doing after a long, exhausting day is go on TikTok. Like, the thing about social media and the internet in general is that you'll see something that'll make you feel, like, it'll make you feel good, and then 5 seconds later, you'll see some, like, horrible tragedy, you know? I feel like that our brains are just not programmed
such a high and low.
It's just to be like, oh yeah, I'm really happy, and then I see something that makes me sad. It's like our brains aren't meant to go from that transition, or that have that constant transition of feelings. You know, I feel like that just makes you an anxious person. You're just constantly like, you know, switching.
I feel like it also numbs people because they get that high and low. Nothing really ever affects them because they see all these things all the time.
Yeah.
It's like how news is, or like how social is, where there's these bad things that happen and it's on the news for maybe like a week.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's not talked about at all.
Right.
Like Ukraine.
Yeah. Dude.
Is there anyone reporting it right now? Like, is it on CBC and like all these networks?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit, but like nobody's really talking about it anymore.
Yeah. It's not as big as before.
Yeah. It's not like the wow factor or like, you know?
Yeah. It's almost like trends.
Yeah.
It's like crises and world
People
tragedies
care
are
about
trends.
it.
Yeah.
And then they forget about it.
Yeah.
And it's on to the next thing.
Yeah. That is not great.
Not great.
Not great.
But it's the way society is right now.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? You'll be eating lunch and you'll be on your phone scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, and you're literally watching, like, talking about the Ukraine thing again. You're watching people across the world getting bombed and, like, you know, slaughtered during your lunch break. And then you just close your phone and then you go on with the rest of your day. It's just like, man, I've become so desensitized to seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like worrisome.
It's such a disconnect from reality.
It's like, damn, like, I even caught myself where I'm like looking at those videos and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Anyways, time to hop on like Fortnite or something. You know, it's messed up. It's really messed up. Like, it's scary to think about. We have access to seeing that side of the world, like that ugliness of the world, but it's just like the world we live in, you know? Yeah. I also think it's a good thing to be exposed to that kind of stuff because it almost like gives you awareness. You become more conscious of like how ugly the world can get. And then maybe you can like do something about it. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know. That's just like a side tangent.
Well, I mean, I think you're right, but most people don't.
Yeah.
do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
Social change.
Social change. Yeah, man. I was talking to a friend and she was like, I can't wait for social media to be out of style. I was like, not in our lifetime.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like,
if it's not Instagram, it's something else.
Yeah, like there's got to be another social media that comes out. Dude, Neuralink social media.
Is he still doing that program?
I don't know. I'm just throwing out random stuff. Anyways,
what are your expectations for Doctor Strange?
Honestly, I'm expecting it to be a Marvel blockbuster, really entertaining. A lot of inside Marvel jokes. You know, like Spider-Man No Way Home. That was a really fun experience. Would I say it's a cinematic masterpiece? No. It's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
You know, and Marvel movies are in a league of its own. It's just like pure action entertainment for the masses.
Yeah. I know people that are like, Marvel isn't real cinema. And that's where it gets into like the purists.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, like film heads.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of on that boat, but I still think movies like that are cinema.
Yeah, me too.
It's just different.
It is just different.
Other films I enjoy more now, just being in the industry.
Yeah.
But
I would say Marvel movies are comparable to pop music. It's over engineered for to appeal to the masses.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like really, for me, really good movies are movies that, like they hit a certain niche, and they're, how do I say? They're just different. You know what I mean?
Just built diff.
They just different. Like you see a Marvel movie, you go in expecting the same thing. Bad guy, good guy. Bad guy wins, and then good guy eventually prevails. But, you know, a really good movie is one that I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. There's not an expectation already. I'm just like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
There's questions and there's answers. But Marvel, it's like, it's just one big question and then one big answer. But in a really good movie, there's a bunch of little questions, and it keeps you guessing the whole time. And then they like keep on revealing little by little what's gonna happen.
Like, what's your favorite movie right now?
Favorite movie right now. One that comes to mind. This is like a pretty messed up movie, but it's called Nocturnal Animals, and it has Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and then another, I forget the actress name, but yeah, it really it really floored me. I don't know how to describe it. Like,
what genre is it?
It's a drama.
Okay.
It's a drama,
like horror.
No, not a horror. It's like a drama / thriller.
Okay.
But it's also a tragedy. I think the movies that really appeal to me, they like strike me very intense. Like they're emotionally striking to me. Like they hit me in a really deep place, almost like I want to cry, you know. Or if I like imagine myself in that same situation, like it would really suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That Nocturnal Animals really did that to me. I was just like, man, if I was Jake Gyllenhaal right now, like I don't know what I would do.
Like it's more real.
Yeah, that movie's intense. Josiah, like if you've never seen it,
I've never seen it.
I don't know. Like I don't know if you would like it though. No, it's not new. It's I mean, it's like in the I think
like 2000s,
2018, 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a really heavy movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like a really good movie to me is like Prisoners, with Jake Gyllenhaal and what is it, Christian Bale? Or not Christian Bale. Wolverine. What's his name?
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman, yeah, and Paul Dano.
Okay.
That movie's really... Have you seen Prisoners?
I don't think I have.
Man, sorry, you gotta watch that movie. It's like...
I don't think I have.
That kind of movie, like that feeling of...
Yeah.
Like dread, like heavy, realistic scenarios. Those are the kinds of movies I like. I don't know what it is. It's just like... It's scary.
Yeah.
I guess. Like horror movies don't scare me. But like those kinds of movies do, because I'm like, man, that could actually happen to somebody.
It's a little bit more tied to reality.
Yeah, it's close to reality. And I'm just like, man, it's crazy. Like, I hope I'm never in that situation.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I get a sense of relief after I finish the movie, because I'm like, oh, thank God.
It's just a movie.
It's just a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. You know, have you seen Black Mirror?
No, I never got into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you should watch. Man, Black Mirror episodes are good too.
I just haven't watched anything.
Dude, yeah, I feel like you'd like Black Mirror. But basically, it's like the future, and they're all like tragic scenarios of how technology ruins humanity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think the appeal comes from the fact that it's a tragedy, but it's not real. You know what I mean? Like, you watch it, and you're like, you can imagine yourself in that situation. You're like, oh yeah, life could end up that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, you're just like, oh, okay, it's a good thing life isn't that way.
Yeah.
Yet. That's why it's good. I don't know. That's kind of how I see it. But yeah. What's your favorite movie right now? Dune?
It probably is still Dune.
Really?
But I really enjoyed the Batman, the way that it was shot.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I agree.
I thought it was really bold of how they shot it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I ended up watching like a bunch of videos on it.
Yeah.
And they actually used my lens, the 58 mil, the vintage lens, the Helios.
Whoa, really?
They used it in one of the car scenes.
No way.
Because that lens has the natural like detuning, because it's a vintage lens. Mm-hmm. And it has kind of like a vignetting effect where the middle is focused, the outside is defocused, especially when it's like wide open at f2.
Really?
So they wanted to match the anamorphic lenses that they were using. Mm-hmm. And they detuned the anamorphic lenses to have that like center focus, and outside is blurred.
Really?
So they used that lens because they needed like a smaller compact camera to fit in some of the scenes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool.
Dang. I feel like that's how you know, like, if you get really into something, or like, this is how I know you really like something. You like get a taste of it, and then you'll just like binge
just go
everything
in.
About it.
Yeah, totally.
Like hours of videos of behind the scenes footage of Batman.
Yeah.
How they filmed it, what lens they use, you know, like.
Yeah. Like even now, I still watch any tutorial that I can.
Yeah.
Like even with learning DaVinci.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm still constantly watching videos.
Yeah.
Like how to do things.
Dude.
That's basically how I learned videography, is just consuming content.
Yeah.
And trying to create it, I guess.
Yeah. It's, man, switching editing softwares is like one of the most frustrating things you can do. But it's like fun at the same time. Like I'm learning like 3 different softwares right now. Or well, not 3, but.
Are you still learning DaVinci?
Yeah, I'm learning DaVinci. I'm also learning like mechanical engineering softwares.
Oh,
like
I see.
3D printing software,
Right.
Inventor, Revit. It's like building design. But like all of these softwares, I'm just like, damn, there's like so much going on in my brain. Yeah. And like I'm learning all the shortcuts. But yeah, DaVinci, I really want to get good at it.
It's next level, in my opinion.
I know, right? That's what I hear. It's like color grading, it's next level.
So nice to color grade on there, especially if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm like more control. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to get good at it, even though it's frustrating.
DaVinci. It's free.
Screw Adobe Premiere. Unoptimized monthly subscription.
Yeah, what the heck?
That works half the time.
Isn't optimized for computers.
Yeah, and it's still like one of the most widely used.
Yeah. but also the most like complained about.
Yeah, true. I think most people use it because when you get the subscription, you can also get like the whole
Everything.
Adobe package.
It's like,
so
it's, you buy for the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Because you can do everything in it.
Yeah.
But
everything else about it.
Good luck saving your project or exporting.
Oh man, the amount of times Adobe has crashed on me and I've lost I forgot to save. I've lost 30 minutes to 2 hours worth of work. And it's just like...
That's probably the worst feeling.
Yeah.
that you can ever have editing.
Yeah, when your thing crashes, you're just like...
And you have to try and recreate what you had because what you had was pretty good.
Yeah. No, that's not fun.
One of the laptops here crashed 5 times because
5 times?
It couldn't handle Adobe Bridge and the CPU. I to be fair, this MacBook is like throttled. It's like thermal throttled. It's like the 2018 version, so like it's terrible airflow.
Yeah.
But literally turn on the computer, crash. Like the fans kicked on instantly.
Oh my gosh.
Because it loaded up Adobe because it has the instant startup.
Mm-hmm.
So bad.
Yeah. Having, I know a lot of people say your gear doesn't matter, but it does.
It does.
It does.
I mean, we have these good cameras.
I know.
It just elevates the production level.
Yeah.
100%.
I was able to make videos on my phone and edit videos on a Surface laptop or Surface Book.
Yeah.
Not the most powerful pieces of technology, but when I upgraded to a MacBook and got a better camera, it's what a world of difference.
It does elevate it, and it does separate it, but literally anyone can get started.
Yeah.
I used Anne's parents' MacBook Air to edit because I didn't have a computer.
Yeah.
I had this all-in-one computer from my grandpa. The one that I played CS:GO on.
Yeah.
And the screen, because the processor and the graphics card weren't great, I had to run this 1000 by 900 resolution to play CS:GO on a 19 or a HD screen.
Yeah. So basically, you had to play CS:GO on a screen the size of of your fist. In order for the computer to run it, you had to play on a screen the size of your fist. You couldn't even use the full.
No,
screen.
It would crash.
Yeah, no.
or I'd get 12 frames per second.
Yeah, no, that's so funny.
But yeah, I had that computer because I didn't have a laptop.
Yeah.
So, when Anne's parents needed their taxes done and gave the computer to Anne to do stuff, I'd edit a video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that was before I got anything.
Man, when you're hungry and that that fire's been lit, you'll do anything.
It was super laggy though because it's a MacBook Air, but
you tolerated it and you stuck it out and you're now you're working on a MacBook or you're working on powerful computers.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Gear, it matters to an extent. The image quality, it increases very slightly, but workflow is the biggest thing. I feel that's the biggest difference. The speed at which you can produce high quality.
You're right.
High quality products. It's so much faster.
Yeah.
Exporting a video on my laptop. My old laptop was for 5 minutes, 1080p footage. It would take it an hour.
That's insane.
Insane, right? But now on my MacBook, same thing.
It's minutes.
But in 4K, 10-minute video, I can do it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so much better. But image quality, whatever. It increased ever so slightly.
Yeah. I would say what's even more important than image quality is audio.
Oh yeah, good audio for sure.
I would get a better mic. I would spend, instead of say if you had a base camera and a base mic, I would get the upgraded mic over upgraded camera.
Yeah. Oh,
because audio is just so important.
True. Even hearing
this.
Yeah, even hearing you talk and hearing our voices in this, it just sounds so pleasing.
Yeah.
You're wow, I sound so good.
Yeah.
But do I always sound like this? Do you? I feel like
I don't know.
Do we have filters on?
No,
No?
we don't have filters on.
Dang. What were you gonna say?
Well, there's this thing where there's a filter where it shows you how other people actually see you.
Oh yeah.
Like on TikTok.
Yeah.
Where it'll show. I don't know if it's just like a reverse of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if that's actually real. Like when I look at myself in the mirror, do people? I don't know. I just find it so interesting that when I see myself in the mirror, that's not how people see me.
Yeah.
How?
Well,
Like what is different? Is it like my face shape obviously doesn't change,
mm-hmm.
and I'm viewing it in a mirror, which is the opposite view, right? That's how other people would actually see me.
No.
Right?
No.
Or no?
No. Because, so, have you ever taken a selfie on your iPhone camera?
Yeah.
For like in the camera app versus a selfie in Snapchat?
Yes.
They're different because what the iPhone like camera app does is it takes a picture and the Snapchat camera, what it does is it takes a picture and then it flips it. So it's almost like a mirror. But what the iPhone camera does is it just takes a picture of your face and it doesn't flip it.
It's the same.
What? Is it for you?
It's the same.
Let me show you. Maybe you have that setting turned on because...
I think I just debunked it.
No. Wait. Unless they updated it so it's different. Oh yeah, it doesn't flip it anymore. Unless... Huh. Okay, never mind. Forget what I was saying. But...
So it is flipped though. Like when people see you,
it's not flipped.
Right.
Know what I mean? Like, how do you
describe
Is
that?
there a way to like measure this or like prove what we're saying is real? But I know what you mean though. Like the way you see yourself is not the way I see.
Well, yeah. Like if you take a picture right now, or if I take a selfie and then I flip it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks
weird.
weird. Yeah, right? Is there a way to do that right now?
Well, I think if you just take a photo and then go into edit.
Mm-hmm. What?
Wait, no, you're right. Okay, if I take a photo like this.
Yeah. Does it flip it?
It does flip it.
Does it?
Man, I look tired.
Dude.
I don't know. It's just weird.
It's just weird.
It's just weird that people see you differently.
Yeah. People hearing you are like the fact
Listening
that
to your own voice.
Yeah.
Now that is weird.
Yeah.
Like in a recording.
Hearing this playback, it's probably going to sound super weird. But honestly, like...
I think it sounds different than listening to it live, than listening to somebody or your voice in a video, like recorded.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this sounds a lot more natural.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I feel like it's because...
Or maybe we're just talking in a certain way because we can hear ourselves.
Maybe. I think it helps.
I don't know. It could be wrong. But
holy moly, we've been talking for 2 hours and 17 minutes. Okay, honestly, that didn't feel long at all.
no.
Yeah, I feel like... But...
I could do this all day.
Man, you know, some people do 24-hour live streams. I do not understand that. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
It's like, dang.
What do you do?
Sit at a computer for 24 hours. That is...
I've seen like marathons where they play games for 24 hours.
And
like by hour 16, they're like zombies.
Ugh. Could you? Do you think you could do it?
Probably.
Yeah, me too. But I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd enjoy it.
Honestly, we probably did it at one point.
Yeah, we like slept for like 5 hours.
There was times where I didn't go to sleep. I just like go on with the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you're just gaming all night?
You know when you like reach the point where you're not tired? Like you stay up so late and then you see the sun.
No.
And it's like 5 in the morning.
No.
Or 6 in the morning. You're like, Oh, fuck it.
Something in me tells me I have to go to sleep.
Really?
It's like I would be messed up if I didn't go to sleep.
I've done that so many times.
Like even just like a 2-hour nap or like a 20-minute nap. I have to have some sleep in between days.
There were some days where I just went and I had like a decent amount of energy. Like I wasn't tired.
Like, did you hallucinate?
No.
You tripping?
No.
I feel like
that was good.
I remember that time you told me you went out partying the night before, or like you went to a party, you got drunk, and then
I don't know if this is gonna go on the podcast.
No.
Just kidding.
You went to a party, you were drinking, and then you went to the gym, and you were like still tipsy from the night before.
Yeah. We went out. We drank. We slept. I was still like hungover.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. No, not even hungover. I was just like tired.
Yeah.
Because we stayed up all night. And then my friend dared me to drink the rest of this Jack.
Honey
Jack. And there was probably like a good like third.
Yeah.
And I drank it. And then we went to the gym. And I rack pulled 400 pounds.
Holy moly.
I mean, it was a pretty like sketchy rack pull, and there was like no range at all, but
yeah,
still
400-pound rack pull. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, man, I just did that last night after not like the 400-pound rack pull, but I went to after our first Frisbee game, I went to a buddy's house.
Yeah,
we had like a couple drinks and some wings. I'm like, nice. He has a bench in his basement, and you know, what do guys do when they see a bench? They start going for PRs.
Yeah.
So we like, it's like tucked away in the corner, and there's like a bunch of boxes and shit around it. So we move the boxes, and then we just start throwing on the plates. And I maxed out at 180 or something for bench. And I was like,
how did you feel? Like, were you pretty like drunk?
No, I wasn't. I had 2 beers.
Oh,
like that's nothing really.
Nothing. Wasn't even feeling anything.
But yeah, 180, went for the 195, and I failed halfway, and I was just like, dang.
Shit.
But the bench, I think it's because the bench, it's so high, I can't get any leg drive. You know, like
the bench is like,
yeah, like I'm just like
tall bench.
I'm just like.
Do that again?
Yeah, like the bench is so high that my legs can't really.
I know what
get
you mean.
enough.
Yeah.
I can't build enough tension.
Yeah.
It's almost just like my legs are sitting there.
Yeah.
But honestly, I haven't gone for a bench PR since last year.
What is your bench PR?
185.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you hit more.
I feel like I can now. But
I think you can for sure.
Like what am I at? Let me just confirm this. Got my PRs. PRs. Yeah, bench 185, squat 205, and deadlift 340.
340 on deadlifts?
Yep. Yeah, man. I feel like definitely I can do more than 340 now. But
yeah.
I like this idea. I've been thinking about this a lot. I like the idea of being a human. And not in the sense like, oh yeah, I'm like, I have organs and I have, I'm a bipedal creature.
Mm-hmm.
I just mean like, I feel like people get into this mindset that they have to specialize into something, and that's all they become their whole life. Like the idea of going to university and then getting a job and then specializing in that field their whole life.
Yeah.
That's like the traditional idea.
Right.
But the thing is, you're a human, and you're capable of experiencing every possible experience the world has to offer, or the universe has to offer, So as a human, like, you should just do everything,
Right.
I heard this quote, and it's like, a specialization is for insects. There's like a worker bee.
Right.
There's the queen bee. They
have roles.
The breeder. Yeah, they're categorized in these certain into certain roles.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, you're a human. You could do whatever you want. Like our experience in life is a good example of that. Like, I've went to school, now I'm in creative, and now I'm doing mechanical engineering. It's just very different. And the next 10 years of my life, I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's so true. I thought I was going to do personal training for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And then 3 years, and then that's done.
Yeah.
And who knows? I might go back to it or somehow integrate it, but you really never know.
Yeah. Like, who knows if you'll be doing video stuff for your whole life?
Yeah. Like, I think I will. Like, I really enjoy it, and I have a passion for it, and I could see myself doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And there's still so much to learn.
Mm-hmm.
The term "you only live once."
Yeah. YOLO. Shout out to YOLO.
It's like such a weird thing. Like, everyone knows this, but yet we're scared to do what we want.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
there's financial incentives.
that is true.
You know
Like,
what I
the
mean?
society that we've set up has made it so that a lot of people don't want to take risks.
Yeah. Man,
You know?
like, that makes me think of me moving to the lake to work at a dispensary for the summer. I actually just got offered my old job back today.
Like the city job?
Yeah, and I could have been making like $19 an hour, but
Yeah.
I'm taking a pay cut to go work at the lake. But I just know
Do what you love.
I will be so much happier living
Yeah.
at the lake
Yeah.
and like getting paid to sell weed.
Yeah.
Even though I don't smoke weed that much, but
That's what you're doing?
yeah, that's my job.
Like, legally?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
legally. I'll be working at a dispensary.
Oh.
And it's
Cool.
my official working title is bud tender.
That's actually the title.
Yeah, bud tender.
So on your T4.
Bud tender is
Bud tender.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, like, I know I could be making more money working at this other job, but I'm willing to take that pay cut because I know it'll make me happy. And
Yeah, well.
I'm starting to realize that, like, money, yeah, sure, it affects everything around us, but if that is like the dictating force in your decisions, you will always be unhappy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Money chasing.
Yeah, chasing money is like one thing that'll make you really unhappy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think, like, I'm young. I'm at a stage in my life where I can make certain decisions without suffering long-term consequences. You know, like, I could mess up tomorrow. I could mess up when I'm 27 and still have so much time to, like, make up for it.
I think most people can do that. I don't think a lot of people realize that if you mess up, obviously it's hard work, but, like, you can do whatever you want in a very short amount of time, especially if you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Like, if I think about it, 2 years and how far I've come,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually insane. In only 2 years.
That is crazy.
But if I was doing something that I didn't enjoy for 2 years, I'd probably be, like, nowhere.
Yeah.
Just, like, droning on.
True.
Like, if you really enjoy something, you'll excel at it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. No, man. I totally agree. A lot can happen in 2 years, and a lot more can even happen in 10 years. Like, just think about it.
Yeah.
10 years ago, you were 15. And like 10 years from now, you'll be 35. And think about that. In 10 years, you can accomplish so much and experience so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know a lot of people who are my age, and they're just like, oh yeah, getting close to 30, you know, I got to get my shit together, my life together, and like blah, blah, blah. And they're like, time's moving by so fast, and they're scared. But I'm like, man, that to me, like, getting older is like exactly what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like as I've gotten older, I've just been more content with my life, happier, more confident. I get smarter. It's just a good time aging.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. It's just the way I see it.
It still is scary, though. Like, I totally empathize with that. Like, having to have your life together by a certain age is tough.
Yeah.
But it's also still very real. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants to be established and everyone wants to be secure in their own way.
Yeah.
It's still scary.
Yeah.
Because, like, every year that goes by, you're like, if you didn't do anything, you're like, shit, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's true. I I think you should always be working towards something.
Yeah.
Not just like.
But at the same time, it's okay to take a year off.
Yeah.
Like, if that's like, it's just not working out. Sometimes, like in the long run, if you look at it like macro, 1 year you take off and then you have the rest of your life. It's a very small amount of time. I think people stress about like, they like take a really long time to figure out what they want to do. But everyone's on their own timeline.
Yeah. True. You know? True. Maybe that year you take off is what prevents you from going over the rails and going crazy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe it provides an opportunity.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't have normally found or something like that. It's kind of like COVID. Yeah, that's also like.
That's a huge topic.
Like why I got, or what propelled me into videography.
Same here. Right?
Yeah. Like nothing to do. Couldn't do my personal training job.
Yeah.
Gym shut down. Watching YouTube all day. I was like, I want to try and make a video.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Keep yourself busy.
Literally, yeah.
Same here, man.
2 years later.
Thank you, COVID. Shout out, COVID.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of creative people, like, or not creative people, became creative.
Yeah.
Or found their creativity.
Man, so true.
So there is some, like, for sure positives coming out of this, but
there definitely is a silver lining with COVID and that whole pandemic shutdown. Yeah. I think what it did for a lot of people, and especially for me, is it reset my mindset in terms of seeking that next experience. Like throughout life, you're just like, okay.
It slowed you down.
Yeah, it slowed me down. It's like, it made me appreciate the things that I have and what I could do with those things.
Right.
Because before COVID, I was in the mindset of like, oh yeah, I'm doing this next week and I can't wait for this trip. I can't wait for this. But when I knew nothing was coming along, I was like, man, I gotta find a way to continue being happy and like figure out a way to like keep every day, or like have something to look forward to every day. And for me, that was like, my creative hobby. Yeah. I was just like, that's my savior in keeping my sanity. It's just like, I can get good at this skill. Yeah. And also working out too. I was hitting the gym 6 days a week. Let's go. That was prime lifting time too.
Getting huge.
Oh, okay, wait, during COVID? No, I was working out at home. But like,
I worked out for like a week at home. Yeah. And then I didn't work out.
Yeah. But like once gym started opening up, oh yeah. That was go time, like 6 days a week.
Go time.
But yeah.
That's dope.
Oh, there's a good quote. It says, in life, there is always the negative, but at the same time, there was always the positive. And it's your choice to focus on the positive. Perspective. Yeah, man. Thank you. If you stuck around for the whole podcast, thank you for listening to this. Like, we really do appreciate it. We have no expectations. Like, honestly, no one could listen to this and I'd still be happy that, I had
We'd
this
still
time.
Do it every week.
Yeah. And I had this time with my bro for life.
Yes, sir.
And, thank you for listening. And hopefully we can come out with some more of this content and just continue having a good time.
All right.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out. Love you. Bye.